This is my 2011 Uniden D1660, and it's the beginning of what some people call the second generation of Uniden DECT phones. That's because these cannot register to older models like the 1580 or vice versa. And I believe that's because this model has a shared phone book and shared caller list instead of a handset phone book and caller list. This phone has read-dial phone book match, as all these newer Unidens do, and that means the handset links to the base when you press redial. And it pulls up the entry from the phone book. So, just like I showed on the 3280, if I dial something, then go to the redial list, you'll see that it pulls it from the phone book. This is a pretty basic phone. I got this one instead of a 1680 because at the time I got this, I did not have an ATA that could do FSK tones, and I wanted to be able to have the voicemail thing come up because when you clear it, it immediately goes away from the handset that's performing the reset. The 3280 doesn't do this. Just like on Panasonic phones, you can turn the voicemail tone detection on and off, and you can change the voicemail number. Unlike the 3280, if it's not stored, you'll get an error message instead of the prompt to store it, if you try to go to it. And I'm so used to the... Oh wait, no, I did go. The intercom messages in the middle. Yeah, it says no access number to store, press menu, global setup. But it is linked to the base when it's doing this. Oh, and the battery has to charge. I just put the battery in, so it has to charge. This was not fully charged last time I was playing with this phone, testing it on my free PBX system. Now, this handset is not the same as the DCX160 that you can get separately or that comes with the 1680 or 1688. That's because the numbers lack the answering system icons, because this model does not have an answering system. Same goes for the Motorola L302, the L30X series. Those handsets don't have answering system icons on the buttons because it does not come with a model of an answering system, even though electronically the handsets are the same. So if this was registered to a model of an answering system, this would work just like the actual DCX160. And it also has a message counter in the lower right, so it shows the number of messages, whether the system is on or off, and whether it has new messages. And that same new pixel is used for when viewing new entries in the caller list. Okay, so we have to wait for this to charge, and then we can come back. This being a locator base, this does not have... Oh, there, it did come back. This does not have any button on the base other than a, handset locator button, and it has a premium click feel. And you will not know if this is in registration mode, so you just have to guess, and you can't exit registration mode once you're in it. Be careful if you're used to the way it worked on older phones where pressing and holding while plugging in is how you go to registration mode. You'll end up resetting the base, because if you press and hold locator while plugging the base in, the base resets. I still have no idea what pressing and holding end on a newer Uniden does, where it shows this and put it in the base and it says OK, and on this one you actually hear the key tone when that happens, and it says retry if you pick it up. And on cordless models, this would not do anything. They would just always say NG or retry. This has your typical named ringtones. But instead of Star Spangled Banner, it has Ode to Joy, Beethoven 9 as it's called on here. I only have one handset on this, and this only came with one handset. So not only did I get this with just one handset, it only came with one handset. This phone has place-on-base auto register, as Uniden phones do. However, it does not seem as reliable as I thought it would. I've played with this phone at my PT appointments before. Oh, I can't register it because it's low on battery. And the place-on-base auto register seemed to work, like the moment you place it in, the beep sounds, the base is already in registration mode, but it appears that's not the case. Maybe they changed it on the newer builds like that, where it is like the D3280 and it does not time out. It could also just be the contacts aren't very reliable in this, I don't know. Well, these seem pretty good right now. I don't know what's going on. I think I need to mark that messages. Wait a minute. Oh no, I have to. I guess I have to reboot the HA. That's how I can get this to give me back the FSK. Okay, let's pick up this phone from this other line so we can do our testing. Oh. There is no answering system, so I'm not going to be calling this phone to do a test message, but I will call it to hear it ring. Okay, so if we call it now... Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if I could plug just this one phone in. The main difference between the older and newer builds of this is that the audio on the newer build cuts out when the aeratone sounds. Just like on the 3280. Now let's deregister the handset by pressing and holding pound and end. And we'll take a look at place-on-base auto register. Oh, we have to exit the date and time prompt. This is not going to do it based on caller ID. Surprisingly, they would not get that until 2012, which is very weird. Okay, so now it's deregistered. So if we place this on and then pick it up, it's going to fail because it did not actually go into registration mode. And if we place it on now, it's not going to go into registration mode because the contacts turn off, they time out, so it's not, the base is not going to be able to detect that the handset is ready to register. So it's going to end up failing. No matter how many times I place it back onto the base, it's going to fail. Yeah, it's going to fail at this point. Yeah, it failed. So if we place it on, we have to leave it for like 2 seconds and then it'll register. So now it should be in registration mode for real this time. But again, this is a locator base. It does not have any indicators on it, so you can't know that it's in registration mode. Unless you have another handset that's trying to use the phone, it would not let you. Okay, there we go, it registered that time. So now I'm going to try calling it, and let's see if it gives us a time.
Hello, calls to this number are being screened.
So we should not have the prompt. Oh yeah, it's still asking us to set the time. That is very strange that Uniden would not add caller ID time adjustment until the 2012 models. Okay, so it's 12/31, December 13th. So let's just do that. Oh, low battery. I can't do that. It's weird because it's still showing the voicemail icon, but we'll know that it's linked up again once the charge indicator starts flashing like a message indicator. Yeah, so right now a find thing doesn't do anything, and if we make a call, it's not going to ring. So we have to wait for this to charge up. I believe once it actually gets charged enough to use, the lowest thing is going to be 1 bar instead of empty. Because right now this is just in power save mode and it's trying to charge. We'll also see the antenna icon appear on the top left once it comes in range. That is new to the 2nd gen models. So we'll see this showing 1 bar. As the lowest it'll scroll to, and then the indicator will light up, and then this will start flashing. Or, if the indicator for voicemail is cleared, this would go away. So I don't know why this would not do automatic time adjustment, but that's just how it worked. Okay, so now it's ready to use. Oh, no, it is still showing up as 0 bars in its animation. As you can see here, let's set the time here. Okay, what time is it now? 12:43 p.m. Okay, that did not actually set. There we go. And the confirmation tone stops when the handset's placed on the base. The time stays as you're using the phone, all at the expense of showing only 2 items in the menu and then only 1 item as you're scrolling around. And the message light still flashes even while I'm using the phone, which is unusual. I've just now noticed that. You can change the handset name while out of range. If you save it, it will show up. It'll link to the base so it stays up even if you put it in. Okay, this is needing to charge again. I guess we'll come back in a little bit once this has charged. Okay, hopefully this is charged well enough to now listen to a test message I recorded from this. You can press the message button for that. Then it beeps.
This is a test message on the Uniden D1660 on talk and the D1660 on speakerphone. Let's see if this is any better than the D3280-2, which seems to be more form over function, just like with the lithium-ion powered ELBT595 5.8 GHz flip phone model.
Press 3 for advanced.
Definitely better. I mean, this is just your. This is probably the most boring phone in my collection, to be honest, as far as my cordless phones go. I just wanted those Uniden aspects. Okay, now the voice mode indicator has gone away. It's still linked up because the tower icon is showing. Now let's listen to a test message. To do pound to
This
force
is
it
a
through.
testing message. The quick brown fox jumped.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tech with Tyler's phone testing cold line is powered by 3.
This doesn't have an answering system, but it still has silent mode, so you can press and hold pound and set silent mode. And on the always on option, it tells you up and down to scroll through. Obviously, once you scroll, you already know how to do it. Or you can, on all of them, you can press 1 through 9 to select the number of hours, or 0 for always on, and it just zapped out. It needs to charge. I believe if I press the button to page, it'll begin beeping once it links up. If it's less than a minute to charge up enough. Usually it takes about 5, I guess, minutes to charge up enough to use it. Uniden does not let you hold down find for 10 seconds to deregister all handsets. You have to use a handset to deregister. Although it does not have the issue Panasonic phones would have, where if it's maxed out you can't register anymore if you need to replace one and you don't have working handsets, because you can put the battery in while pressing and holding 1 and 3, then press the number of the handset you want to register over. 1 through 9 for handsets 1 through 9, 0 for 10, star for 11, pound for 12. Place it on the base, and you have to leave it on the base for this to work until it beeps, and then press end and it reboots, and then you can use it. So you have all your typical settings, no LCD contrast option. So if you put it in, you can see it's stuck very well, it links up. If we unplug the base and try to save the handset name setting, this is what happens. It immediately forces it to say out of range. The D3280 does not do this. And then the icon goes away. It'll show a short tower if it's weak and a strong tower when it's strong. So up to that midpoint, yeah, like right there, it's saying weak, and then the top bit came back now that it said in range. Now this does not have a speakerphone icon. This is kind of like the 35 series, but not quite. This is too old to have speed dial. Only Australian models had press and hold 0 for international symbol. And everything works as you'd expect. Unlike the 3280, going to the car list immediately shows the first entry. And then you have delete and delete all in that same menu because there is no main screen for the car list. So it doesn't actually show a total number of entries. It'll obviously say empty if it's empty. And on this one, it will still show empty for the redial list even if you're out of range, because obviously there's no redial data, there's no phone book match. I was about to say data in the base, but it's obviously in the handset. It just uses the base for phone book match. But initially I did think it was actually stored in the base, but it is stored in the handset. And you can know this if you register this as another handset, and it's stored in the base instead of video. So now we can go to the car list. You can see we get the first entry, and you can do all of your stuff here. Once it's empty, it unlinks. It'll say empty if it's empty. And then we have a redial list, which we can delete from. It scrolls to the next entry as we're doing it. Oh, and it just unlinked, and the battery needs to charge. Okay, did it just flash new CID or something? Oh yeah, now we can tell if it's linked by making a call and the new CID entry. And then hanging up after Smart Call Locker picks up. So once it links, we'll see this showing the CID. This also briefly says searching once it charges enough to actually link to the base. It still shows the time, so the handset does keep its time backup even if it's in this state. This being like the older ones, this does not reliably back up the time. It takes like several minutes for the time to send out to the base, which is weird. The D3280 works properly, and that's in the handset, not the base. So if I register those to this, it will work. Okay, this is not gonna charge up reliably. I guess I should really charge up my phones a little bit before I make a video of them. And I'm also going to do a Motorola L402C video after this. I am already getting that charged up. Now I have extra batteries because I got new batteries for my active AT&T phones. So now I can use those batteries, which are somewhat good for my Motorola phone, which can fit those AT&T batteries. A strange thing about Uniden handset names, which I should have mentioned in the 3280 video, is that the number shows right next to the name, even if you give it a custom name. So let's say I set this to this name here. You can see it now says test number 1. The handset name test and the extension number 1. The AT&T phones do this a little bit better because there is a substantial space between the handset name and the handset number. It is spaced properly in the handset lists. So like if we go to the deregistration thing, you can see it is properly spaced here. An advantage to storing the handset name in the handset itself is that you can use it across multiple bases, especially useful on the models like the 1580, where you can register it to up to 4 bases. And you can deregister the handset and the name won't go away. You have to clear it out if you want to clear it. Once again, any cancel can be turned on and off, and it's off by default, which is weird. For the phone book, your options are just create new and delete all. And then edit and delete. There's no copy option. You can do your personal ring. If it's set to anything other than no selection, the first ring will be muted on that handset if personal ring is on. Even if I put it back on charge, it still shows that. That's weird. But there is nothing more to show on this phone because it's a very basic phone.